angels, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing well. It's been a minute, but yeah, I finally found ways of editing. I've been too lazy nowadays. TikTok has taken over. Anyways, this video was requested from a video by Christine Bosco, and she wanted to know how to she wanted to learn how to cook the South Sudanese kebab. So I'm here to teach you guys the way I normally do my way. You might have your ways of doing it, but this is how I normally do mine. There's a little bit of twist in there, so I hope yours turns out well as well. It's very delicious. So yeah, anyways, we start by cutting the onions. Basically just set all the ingredients out, but mine is just everywhere, so I go from here to here picking up ingredients because I don't like putting them all over the table. But anyways, start by cutting the onions, cutting them in a square way, because either way is just gonna mash it up with the meat and everything. So you after peeling the onions, you just go and wash them. Wash the cutting board as well, because the onion skin is dirty. So yeah, and that's the way I normally cut it. So I put it in between my fingers, so I won't have to cut my fingers. And then yeah, just like that, and then cut it into square. This way it actually helps you, like with mashing the onions later on. It's easier to mash the onions. So yeah, anyways, cut as much onions. With our ingredients, we don't normally measure them, so we just go with our guts. Yeah, so I think that's enough onions. So basically about 4 or 5 onions maximum. It actually depends, because we want to create that what is it called? We want to create that really thick base with meat. So I like to put a lot of onions, yeah. And the rest that I just cut out, I just seal them around, glad wrap it, and just put it back in the fridge. The only way for you not to cry cutting onions is to store them in the fridge, and you'll be sweet cutting. Anyways, the next step, we go with our meat. I couldn't be bothered buying like a boneless meat, so I decided to buy a whole leg, because the boneless one is expensive. If you let them cut it, get the bone out, it's more expensive. A kilo is about $30, and this whole leg lamb is about $42 and stuff. So it's actually good, and yeah, I got a lot of meat out of it. About a kilo of the meat is enough for this whole kebab. It depends how many people you're feeding anyways. Me, I'm so used to feeding a whole community, my family, a big family, so I'm still adjusting into that lifestyle of cooking for a small family. So yeah, but there's always something left in the next day, so take it to work, put in the kids' lunchbox if they want to take some food. It's really up to them, but anyways, there's always plenty left. And with the meat, you just cut them in a square way as well, so everything is cut in a square way. And yeah, we're just trying to keep that pattern going. So yeah, we gotta put the presentation in a good presentation way as well. I think that's enough of meat, and then the rest I just store it in the freezer for maybe some roasting, because the kids love roasting meat. Yeah, roasting, I normally don't even put any ingredients in it. Just chuck it in the oven like that. It turns out well. Anyway, the next step, you just put as much oil in the stove and let it let it become really hot, and then chuck your onions in, and then after that wash your meat and store it in the fridge, just to just to wait for the onions to cook a little bit. And then yeah, you can keep it on the outside, is really up to you, but yeah, I like to store it in the fridge in the meantime after washing it. And then after the onions are a little bit brown, you try not to make it too much brown. You just drain the oil out, because everything's going to be oily later on. So you want to drain as much as you can from that onion, you know. And then just chuck in your meat after you wash it, you know. And then you just stir it around. Make sure that onion is like really, really deep into that meat. Yeah, the reason why the onions can't be really brown is because it'll be easier to mash it up later on. But if it's really brown, you can't mash it. And after that, I grab my beef stock, about 6 of them. At this point, we really don't measure stuff, so I put 6. Just chuck it in there. And then I grab Vegeta as well. After stirring all your spices in there, basically you just stir it very, very well. And then you just grab a cup of water. It actually depends. This measurement's eating my head up, but I really don't know how to give you guys measurements, guys. So we grew up cooking with our guts, measuring with our guts. Sorry. So you put just water to let it simmer, to let the meat cook and to be tender. So you let it simmer for about, I think, 30 minutes. It actually depends, but normally I like the time that I like to put the rest of the ingredients in is when the water is pretty much done. Like, it's basically all the way in the bottom. You'll see anyways in the end. But anyways, let's move on to the next step. Get the vegetables ready and peel them and chop them up in a square way as well. I'll show you guys how in a minute. Look how beautiful those potatoes are. Oh my god, I love the red ones because they're a bit like, they're more tender than the white ones, and the white ones are a bit harder. So, and this one's got much flavor as well. Yeah, I've known the difference. So peel your potatoes and then cut them the same way you actually cut the onions, but not too small, not too big, just medium, guys. Medium, yeah. Just cut them pretty much similar to the onions, but a bit medium way. If you cut them too small, they'll burn too quickly, so trying to keep them in a nice medium way. So yeah, but before chopping them, please wash them up as well, because the skin does not, I just don't trust the skin. It just comes dirty still. Next step, we'll move to the carrots. Just peel your carrots and cut them in the same way as well, the same size, same shape. Forget to wash them, guys. Wash your chopping board as well. If I can wash them with sabun, I can, but it's not. They need to get sabun vegetable, yeah. Only if we can fast forward like this, the food will be cooking within seconds. Yes, anyways, this just grab a pot and put as much oil as you can, or you can use a chips fryer. Makes it easier, but I don't have that at the moment, so yeah. But anyways, as you can see, the water has just been simmering in there, and we're getting to the point that we can add our the rest of our spices. So the next spice I put is curry powder with thingy, with cumin powder. Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce that. Cumin powder. Yeah, that I like to put it right at the end of my kebab and just stir it around, stir around. With the vegetables, I like to start with peas. Yeah, because when you're taking the rest of the vegetables out of the hot oil, you will take all the peas out of there, because at the moment I don't have the chips fryer, so it makes things harder. But yeah, I like to start with peas to make things easier. So we fry our peas once our oil is hot. I know it's gonna cool it down because it's frozen, so it shouldn't make as much noise as, you know, as throwing in the onions. Well, after that, I just like to grab paper towel and just put it in one of the plates just to drain out all the oil, because at this point we just want to drain as much oil as we can, because everything everything is cooked with oil, yeah, basically. So we don't want to be burping after eating this food and all we're burping out is oil. I hate that feeling. Ugh. So anyways, after that, you can put like the paper towel on the bottom and on the top as well, just to, you know, suck some oil out. It's better than nothing. I'm telling you guys, better than nothing. Alright, next step, I like to grab the garlic and just put it in our meat. Ready to go. Yeah, anyways, this garlic just makes everything better. I normally don't like it in most of my food, but this type of food, oh, it's needed, girlfriend, it's needed. And after that, I just like to grab my organic tomato paste. This tomato paste is actually really good. And yeah, just grab as much as you can. No, but don't put too much because it's gonna be a white, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's just gonna be too sour. And this is the trick that I was telling you guys, a little bit of twist. To make this not sour, like the tomato paste, I like to go in with, what is it called? This sweet soy paste. Like I'll show you. I'll put the photo there and you guys can see what I'm talking about. And yeah, that actually reduces the sourness of the tomato paste. And I like to put it in after putting the tomato paste, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. It looks like a barbecue sauce. Yeah, that. It's sweet soy. It's the sweet soy something. Yeah. You put as much. I don't like to measure it as well, so yeah, just put as that much, and it actually reduces the tomato paste, the sourness of tomato paste. And you can cook it with dama, and it just turns out perfectly, because the tomato paste here, I don't know what's wrong with it, but it's just sour. Regardless of how much you're trying to cook that beautiful dama, it just doesn't turn out well. But if you put this sweet soy paste in it, it will just turn out beautifully, guys. So yeah, our next step, we'll put our carrot in there. As you can see, so much difference with the piece, because carrot is not that cold anymore. It's been room temperature, so it's gonna sizzle a lot. See, the color is looking beautiful. Anyways, the meat is done, so we're just gonna get the vegetables ready. With my potato, I like to season it with the Vegeta, because yeah, with carrot there's a bit of taste in there. With peas it's not as much, so the potato one is a bit like it's tasteless when there's nothing there. So I like to pour a bit of vegeta around it before frying it, and then yeah. So while you're waiting for the potato to fry, you're just trying to get rid of all the dirt in the kitchen before you serve dinner. Because later on, if you serve dinner, the plates will come back again, and it's just gonna be a lot of mess. So I try to reduce as much as I can while I'm cooking on the go, so it can make everything easier later on. Because after dinner, after you're full, you just don't want to touch anything. Yeah. So yeah, I like to just keep as clean as I can. And then as I was recording a TikTok as well, as you can see, but yeah, it just did not turn out well. My phone ended up dying, so the draft went to the drain. But anyways, the potato is done cooking, so I just like to place paper towel on top of all the vegetables and just let it like suck all the oil out. I'll show you guys what I mean. Just like that, and then just grab a paper towel and just cover it so it can suck most of the oil out before we mix everything together. You can cook like all the vegetables all at once, but I like them to cook because they all have different timing of cooking, so that's why I cook them individually. But it's really up to you anyways. But yeah, as you can see, get rid of all the plates, the cups, reducing all the mess before you start eating dinner. After that, the fun part begins. Ooh, look at that meat looking all fresh and yummy. That's how Dama looks like, eh? Delicious. But anyways, after all of that, we just grab our vegetables, mix them all together. As you can see, it's not as oily as it was in the beginning, so yeah. Alright, just stir everything together. This part you really have to be gentle because everything's so mushy now. So if you go really hardcore, you end up having like mush, yeah, vegetables. So you really want to be gentle as you're mixing it through. You really want that, that onion, the thickness of onion I was talking about before. That's what I meant. You want that onion to really mix in that vegetables really, really nicely. As you can see, the thickness. The base is looking really good. The paste is looking good. It's looking pretty. Alright, angels. As you can see, the rice is looking really nicely. I've been struggling cooking rice for a very long time because back home we were not shown properly. I don't know if it was me or everybody else, but rice was the hardest thing to cook until I came to Australia, and I still didn't know how to cook rice. Always come out mushy, always just it wouldn't turn out well, so I nearly give up. But the thing is, with the rice cooker, I didn't know there was a measurement in there, so I figured that out myself, and I was like, thank goodness. And other ways as well, you can always use your finger to measure the water, and I'll show you guys how. when I upload the TikTok video that I showed. Anyways, the measurements is there, the cup of water and the cup of rice. If you follow those measurements, your rice will turn out perfectly, guys. For those that are struggling with rice, this is an easier way of you to know how to cook rice. Yeah. And yeah, it turned out so beautifully. So I just put them in one of those small cups and just present it very well. You know, my kids don't like it this way, but I love it anyway. So yeah, and just that's basically it. You can serve it with chapati, you can serve it with rice, you can serve it with bread. My kids love rice, so we're just gonna stick to rice at the moment. Thank God I don't have a husband to look after, because it'll be I just go with whatever my kids want to eat. Yeah, with the husband part, no. Let me grow my kids in peace at the moment. Yeah. That's it, angels. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I hope you achieved this. If you don't know how to cook it, I hope my ingredients was well presented for you to see how I achieved this whole thing, and it tastes really delicious, guys. The kids are always picky anyway, so yeah. But anyways, please don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up. You can share if you want to share, and you can save this video for, you know, for the teenagers that are growing up, know how to cook this. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video very soon. I'll try not to lag this time, guys. Thank you, angels, for your support always. God bless you abundantly. Bye.